After a beautiful start in May, the cryptocurrency prices have risen considerably. Now the question is if the pump will continue or if we're going to see a little bit of consolidation. So I brought to you some very interesting news articles about the Dow Jones, Coinbase rumor with the USDC stablecoin, XRP price explosion, if Ethereum is going to beat Bitcoin in the next bull market, the SEC against the decision on Bitwise Bitcoin ETF approval, and a lot more information. So don't hesitate, grab a nice beer, sit down, relax, and listen to this nice, sweet and short market update with some news and interesting information. So I'm Kieran from cryptobulls. I'm happy to have you here with me today. I hope you're enjoying whatever you're doing and had a stressless day and can relax. So let's cut to the chase with Bitcoin, up or down, best or worst case scenarios for the cryptocurrency price pump. Now, if we look at the different technical analysts, everyone has been saying, oh, the price is going to reverse at 6,000, at 7,000. However, Bitcoin has been beating the odds and been climbing up to new highs every hour. If we looked at it, everyone was checking their tracking apps, their cryptocurrency tracking apps on their phone, going on coinmarketcap.com, hitting refresh all the time. And yeah, I'm guilty of that as well. So as the Bitcoin and the altcoin market continue to pump like crazy, we appear to be on the precipice of something huge. Is the price going to go up or down? That's the mystery. Whether that's a huge pump to an all-new all-time high or a huge dump back down to where we came from is very unclear. So amid the Bitfinex Tether uncertainty and the Binance hack, the very thing that wasn't supposed to happen has happened, and that was the price pump. So Ethereum does the 200 dance for a while. From September to November 2018, the value of Ethereum found itself bound within the very tight range. For almost 3 months, the price of ETH fluctuated from a baseline of $200. And those fluctuations went high to $270 and the low as $170. But each time the ETH returned to the $200 mark. So this was a very good accumulation phase, as well as the beginning of 2019 was also a very good accumulation phase. Watching the value of Ether flirt with that $200 range brings back memories from to the end of 2018. So Bitfinex and Tether take a dirt nap, Bitcoin plummets, so Bitfinex raised another $1 billion just in time to save Bitcoin. So everything's very interesting. It's very difficult to predict if we're just gonna see a nice pump, continuation of the pump, or if we're going to go back. There are some naysayers that believe that this pump is caused by smart money trying to lure out the short traders, which have been accumulating their short positions and been liquidated since the price just catapulted up to around 8,200 at its highest. So I believe as soon as the smart money wants to start shorting the market, they will do it. However, I don't believe we're gonna. I think we are at a certain point where the market is considering a reversal, a long-term reversal, and we're gonna see some sideways movement. However, this price fluctuation is going to be very big, so it could be that we go back down to retest levels of 6,000 or 5,000, but that's a lot of uncertainties, but it's very exciting nevertheless. So one other thing that I think is always very fascinating is the Dow Jones, and the Dow Jones plummeted, you can say, because of, first of all, the trade agreements is probably one big reason for the Dow Jones slump. The Dow and broader US stock market rebounded sharply on Tuesday after President Trump seemed to indicate that a swift trade deal with China is still possible. Crypto markets pulled back slightly in afternoon trading through the likes of XRP, and they posted solid return. So the Dow Jones rebounds, S&P 500, Nasdaq follows. Out of Wall Street, major indexes reported big gains, helping to offset a brutal Monday slide that knocked more than 600 points off the Dow Jones on Tuesday. The Dow 30 index climbed 207 points, or 0.8% to 25,538. Dude, that's baby steps compared to the crypto market. But of course, you cannot just compare the stock market with the crypto market. The stock market is much huger than the crypto market by a hundred, probably 100 times. Don't take my word on that. Anyway, I think what's very interesting looking at this slump and rebound for the Dow Jones is that it's the correlation is, it's actually a negative correlation to the cryptocurrency market. So when BTC was climbing and the rest of the cryptocurrency market was following, the Dow Jones was sinking, if you can say it like that. And now when cryptocurrency is experiencing a bit of a just a breath of just a rest, a pause, and just correcting just a little bit, then the Dow Jones bounces back. So the trade deal is still possible. President Trump took to Twitter on Tuesday to suggest that a trade deal with China could be reached fairly quickly once Beijing agrees to do its fair share. And here's his post: "When the time is right, we'll make a deal with China. My respect and friendship with President Xi is unlimited, but as I have told him many times before, this must be a great deal for the United States, or it just doesn't make sense." So, me personally, not a big fan, but yeah, apparently the stock market reacts heavily on the Twitter posts of Trump. Let's continue and get away from the stock market and go back to the cryptocurrency market. May 2019 will be significant for Bitcoin. Record BTC volumes trades on May 12th. So before April, Bitcoin has been disappointing. It was quite stagnant, nothing happening, and even its most active proponents were cautious due to the rate at which it scaled. So many people believed that we had still not bottomed, and the bottom was still imminent. So many people were shorting the market, and they got wrecked. On this day, Bitcoin prices surged to 7,000 US dollar before closing off at 7, but it was more about the price edging past 6,000. So 6,000 was the big number, and we reached around 8,500 US dollars until then. So 29 billion in BTC volume was traded. The previous high was 25.5 billion, was set on January 8, 2018, a very long time ago. So it's also very important when you look at talking about trading volume. Very many markets have wash trading, which means trading back and forth, just to create the illusion that a lot of cryptocurrency is traded, which is very bad. It just gives a wrong impression. So even so, the unregulated nature of the space means some elements could try to manipulate trade volumes, something Jonathan Habicht, founder of BlockFi Crypto and Blockchain Business, notes. Even though it's possible that there was less fake volume before and therefore real volume is not higher today, I'm not stating this as a fact, only pointing out that it's a possibility. It's just something you have to keep in mind. I believe the trading volume is definitely increasing and has reached a new high, even though some of it might be fake. So prophecies were there before the rise. This was significant rise considering that BitMEX, a crypto platform specialized in margin trading, is usually quiet on weekends. Like on May 10th, 2 days before the meteoric rise, trading volume, Vinny Lingham, partner Multicoin, said, "If Bitcoin can hold the 6,200 US dollar level for the next 24 to 48 hours, then the bear market is officially over and I'm going to become a raging bull." BTC closed at that day at 6,378 and has never looked back. And as you're aware, it has pushed past many boundaries, and a lot of short traders have been wrecked. On the next, some very, very interesting news, and that's with the stablecoin that Coinbase wants to roll out. It's USDC stablecoin to 80 plus countries, and that's a very, very aggressive expansion, but very, very bullish on that aspect. So the Coinbase platform has voiced a rollout of its stablecoin to a pack of new countries to let traders around the world use its benefit. And I think this is fantastic, since, in my opinion, Tether has seen its days and is not going to go anywhere, and that's why we need a lot more stable coins to offer an alternative and haven for when you want to offset some of your cryptocurrency gains. On May 14th, the San Francisco-based Coinbase exchange has written on its blog that from now on, their stablecoin dubbed USD Coin will be added to support in 80 plus countries globally. And here's their information, their tweet: today we expand USD Coin to 85 countries around the globe, and to accelerate the global adoption of crypto trading. And I think it's, in my opinion, this is very good for adoption. And in my opinion, stablecoins are going to play a very, very big role in the next decade. Top centralized digital exchanges in the current market are fighting for every customer, offering new products and expanding in every possible manner. Coinbase is eager to expand, and the new 85 countries where USDC can be traded now is a confirmation of that. So I remember one speech of Andreas Antonopoulos, and he was talking about the volatility of not only Bitcoin but the whole cryptocurrency market. And he said that, first of all, one aspect of the volatility is, it's probably going to change, is when the market is going to be considerable amount larger than it is now, since now it's very, very small. And with this increase in size, we're going to have a lot more exchanges. So probably a few, like if you look at the amount of different banks that there are in a certain country, we're going to have definitely as many exchanges per continent to have a fair competition and to accelerate growth. So we're going to have at least 50 to 100 different exchanges per country to, first of all, for global adoption, and to combat volatility, to make sure that the competition is fair, and with competitiveness the fees go down, and so on. So this starts with an expansion. I think Coinbase is taking the correct steps for that. And recently, Ethereum World News also reported that Coinbase now offers its customers to take advantage of using crypto Coinbase card, based on collaboration with such conventional giant of the financial service business as Visa. So it's taking very many steps for expansion, and I think that's very good. The more expansion they have, the faster we have global adoption, and cryptocurrency as a whole will just profit from that. So peers are getting ahead. Another crypto exchange, a peer of Coinbase that has been expanding quite aggressively, is Binance. The Manta-based platform, even though they had a hack, has not suffered too bad. Binance is considered to have the largest actual trading volume in the world. Just a side note, BNB, we're going to be talking about that, but that is going to, in my opinion, BNB has a lot of potential, and that's one reason, because it's one of the biggest exchanges, and BNB is used to lower the fee. And what do you think will happen when more investors go onto the exchange and realize that with the BNB coin they can reduce the trading fee? Guess what they're going to buy? There, you've got it. So besides, Binance is famous for its blockchain charity foundation BCF and Binance Launchpad. The latter has been a flat platform for initial exchange offerings, so like ICOs, just on an exchange, for such products such as BitTorrent and several others. A side note, Binance is also going to be launching the margin trading on its platform, and in my opinion that will also bring a lot more traders onto the platform, and will increase. Probably what they will also do is they will probably also integrate, like the Binance Coin will also allow you to have reduced fees with the margin trading, so that will furthermore increase the demand for BNB. Now, talking about that, no, we'll talk about XRP first. So, talking about the XRP price, XRP explodes in price, and 50 cents is on the horizon after an extended period of stagnant price growth. Ripple has finally managed to see some positive price action, so it's been on the 30 cents support line for what seems like ages, and people are getting impatient. Ripple remains ranked third position in the market cap rankings as it presently holds a $16.17 billion market cap. The cryptocurrency has managed to close the gap between second place holder Ethereum, as it now presently sits at $5.83 billion. So we can see here, it broke past a very strong support resistance line. And here we've got the medium-term daily chart. So what has been going on? Taking a look at the XRP USD daily chart above, we can see that the recent price growth has now allowed XRP USD to surge significantly higher above the 100-day moving average with a massive price growth. The price rise also managed to break above the resistance. So 36 cents, 38 cents, and 39 cents. The resistance at 39 cents was very strong, as it is a bearish .382 Fibonacci retracement level, which you use to figure out how far cryptocurrency can fall or rise. And it's very, very important. The .38 Fibonacci level is very important level. Price action has risen above this aforementioned resistance and is now trading higher. Resistance provided by a 1.618 Fibonacci level, and probably these numbers don't interest you that much. To put it in simpler words, if we manage to create a bear flag around the 1.6, like this blue line here, if we manage to make a bear flag, which means we're going to be moving sideways for a bit, and we don't break down further, then this is a good area to accumulate if you want to be ready for the next price increase. And the thing is, with price increases, it's very different. Like, people think it's going to just crash down again. Now the thing is, you can use Elliott wave cycles, and that's very, very important knowledge to have. And that is because when we've got this short-term maybe price correction, and that would be considered the first wave, and then the price correction will be the second wave. Maybe get my pen tool out, and that will help you understand it better. Is it working? Yeah, it's working. So this will be then the first wave, and the correction would be here. And when you talk about the Elliott wave cycles, the third wave is the largest, so that would probably bring us around the 50 to 54 cent level before we see another correction and a last push up, because very often these Elliott cycles, they move in waves of 5, and the third wave is very often the most impulsive and longest wave. So that's a lot of good news for XRP. The short-term trend, after 5 months of sideways stagnant price action, XRP markets has finally been able to reverse the price slump. The recent surge above the 100-day moving average level and the break above 38 cents now rendered XRP market as bullish, which is very good news. Whereas the support on the way towards 50 cents. If the bullish pressure continues further high, we can expect immediate resistance above the market to be located at 42 cents and 44 cents. So I would just dollar cost average how much you're willing to invest. Don't wait for the price to reach don't wait for the price to go down to a certain level. Just dollar cost average, otherwise you might miss this boat. What if the sellers resume control? So we've got a very strong support at 32 cents, also 39 cents. So I think those are safe bets there to accumulate. Remember, this is not financial advice. Just I can't stop emphasizing that enough, because I don't want you to lose all your savings, since you shouldn't put much more than you are willing to lose. So what are the technical indicators showing? I think one is important, and that's RSI can remain above 50, because if it drops below 50, that could signal a much higher downtrend. Everything above 50 is good. So the RSI would be this here, this orange line, and everything above the 50. So if we have a correction to 38 cents, then we'll probably bounce off the, let me draw here, off the 50 RSI level, and then spike back up again to the over 75, and that would be the third wave. That was it for XRP. I think, in my opinion, XRP has got a very bright future and will make people very rich. I've made another video, you can find a link below, about my price prediction and estimates and so on about XRP. Let's continue with Ethereum. Ethereum may outperform Bitcoin in the next bull run. So we're only getting positive news, which I like, since I like positive stuff. The past 24 hours, we've seen cryptocurrency markets. We've already seen that before. So although both coins have been enjoying increases in price action, we can see from the table above that over the past 30 days, Bitcoin has seized a 51% price increase, and the dominance of Bitcoin has reached 60%, which is its, I would consider its resistance level. And very often what happens after the resistance, after Bitcoin has reached a very high dominance, that Bitcoin is going to go into a bit of a more sideways action. And during that time, our coins are going to outperform Bitcoin. Very often what happens then is that Bitcoin price also decreases a bit, because very many investors are going to be selling their Bitcoin and buying a lot of altcoins. So a very strong correlation of 0.831 being a complete correlation based on the past 100 days of price fluctuation implies that Ethereum's price will increase at a similar rate as Bitcoin's price increase, meaning they have a very strong positive relationship. However, this price increase often happens during the altcoin market run. That was the same at the end of 2017, if you remember. Bitcoin, if I've got this correct in mind, Bitcoin peaked on the 17th of December at around $19,000, and Ethereum peaked on January, I think 14th, at $1,400, so around 1 month later. So it's got a heavy, strong correlation, but the correlation is delayed. So, however, the data in this calculation only uses US dollar to come up with its correlation. Taking a quick look at the ETH BTC charts shows that Ethereum has been dropping heavily against Bitcoin. So this is also a very important tip for you, is your goal should either be accumulate more Ethereum or accumulate more Bitcoin, because Bitcoin remains Bitcoin and Ethereum remains Ethereum. So your goal should be either to have more of one or the other, and not to look at your portfolio in US dollars. So one very important aspect is to look at the Ethereum BTC exchange rate, or any other like cryptocurrency pair, as long as you're comparing two cryptocurrencies together if you want to accumulate one or the other. But now with ETH BTC, Ethereum is at a very, very low exchange rate compared to BTC. So you can buy more Ethereum with your BTC than you can buy BTC with Ethereum, if that makes sense. So buying Ethereum now, the statistical probability that it will increase in value, like the ETH BTC exchange will increase, is much higher than if you're buying BTC at the moment. So possibly if you buy Ethereum now and the next altcoin market happens, you will have more BTC. If you exchange Ethereum to BTC, you'll be having more BTC. I know this sounds complicated, so hopefully you understand part of it. So yeah, it's these aspects. Let me rephrase this just to put it simple and slowly. When the Ethereum BTC exchange rate is low, is probably a better time to buy than when it is high. So then it's better to buy Ethereum. And when the Ethereum BTC exchange rate is high, it's much better to buy BTC. Hopefully this easier explanation makes a bit of sense. If not, I'm sorry about that. I'll try and do it better next time. Sometimes I get caught up in these explanations and I forget to slow down. So taking a look at the daily ETH BTC chart above, we can see that ETH BTC started of the year at a price above 0.04 and has continued to depreciate significantly towards where it currently is trading. So we had a much higher ETH BTC exchange rate on the 2nd of January 2019, and that was when Ethereum started to peak and had its nice rally in January to 2018. Yeah. So as I mentioned, I believe at the moment many altcoins, including Ethereum, have a lot of potential. So I suggest if you are thinking of investing, maybe consider some altcoins at the moment, since in my opinion the bull market is just a few corners away from us. Talking about SEC and going away from market updates, SEC again delays a decision on Bitwise Bitcoin ETF approval. It didn't really have that much influence on the market, but it's still important. So the US Securities and Exchange Commission delayed the decision on whether to reject a Bitcoin exchange traded fund ETF. So that was it. I'm not going to go much further into detail, just some information. Talking about R3 Corda blockchain-based loan platforms, British financial software firm Finastra has signed 3 global banks on its R3 Corda blockchain-based syndicated loans platform. I think it's fantastic. Think that this is also another sign for adoption, but I'm not going to be talking too much about this. I want to go to much more juicier content, and that's eBay. And if this is correct, then this will increase Binance Coin even more. So I was just mentioning Binance Coin before and what kind of potential it has, and with this is just mind-blowing. So if eBay rumor is true, Binance Coin could double to $40. And this is a rumor, so just take it with a grain of salt. Don't be throwing your life savings into this, as I don't want to be responsible for you living under the bridge. So there's no official confirmation, but rumor has it that eBay could announce the support of Binance Coin. The platform is one of the largest in the world, and that resulting could thrust BNB towards $42. So price analysis at spot rates, Binance Coin is trading above $20, up 5.8% from last week's close, probably because of the good news. Even though we had a bit of a rough start last week with the Binance hack, Binance Coin has still been going strong. So as a native coin of Binance and facilitator of Binance, it was natural for BNB to retrace in light of the $40 million heist at the 7,000 BTC hack. Our team is making progress and has been working through the weekend in the past few weeks, and that's our talking about the security aspect and resuming trading. So even though we've had this slump, we've still had a nice increase in price. Here we've had this slump. So yeah, in my opinion, there's not much more to say about the eBay except in BNB, since first of all it's just a rumor. I like sometimes a little bit of rumor, maybe it spices up things a bit, but remember, just don't take it too serious and follow the rule. What is it again? Buy the rumor, sell the hype. No, buy the rumor, sell the news, something like that. Anyway, just remember, sometimes I bring some speculative and rumor articles, but they're like half serious, and yeah, just make sure you keep that in mind. Now, this is something I actually like a lot. Samsung, first of all, they brought on the Galaxy S10, I've got the cryptocurrency wallet, but this is actually much better, because the phone market, the budget phone market, is actually incredibly huge. If you look at countries like China or or India, where the phone penetration, which means how many users actually have a phone, is not as high as other countries like in America or European countries. So there's still a lot of potential, and especially budget models, since the amount of money that the budget per capita, the amount of money that the people in the country have to buy phones and different devices is not as high. So that's why the low budget to medium budget phones are very important in those markets, and that's why including cryptocurrency wallet and functionality on these devices is actually a very, very good way to increase adoption. So handling one cryptocurrency's payment might just get easier in Samsung's upcoming Galaxy models, which will include native applications that assist with this. And I think this is very, very important for adoption, because at the moment, if we don't have any methods, apps, and so on that help people that might not be as technical savvy to just install different cryptocurrency wallets and save their keys and so on, and you get to a certain point where each grandma or can just tap a button, send money and receive money without having to think about their private keys and so on, even though they might be foregoing a little bit of security. They might not have the highest security. I think as soon as we reach that level, then we can talk about mainstream adoption, and from there on, the cryptocurrency market is just going to grow exponentially, similar to the internet has done in many of these countries. So Samsung wishes to make it easier for purchasers of its smartphone to adopt cryptocurrency by including a native mobile cryptocurrency wallet in its upcoming Galaxy S10 and budget models, according to a report by local publication Business Korea. We will lower barriers to new experience by gradually expanding the number of Galaxy models that support blockchain functions. We will also expand our service target countries after Korea, the United States, and Canada. And this is very important, since when you talk about the unbanked, many of these unbanked individuals are living in poor countries, such as in China, in India, and different countries in Africa. And by bringing, like, the probability that they can afford at some point a budget phone is probably much higher than them owning a bank account. And in my opinion, them owning a budget phone with blockchain functionality is one of the reasons I believe blockchain and cryptocurrency has so much potential and will actually revolutionize the financial landscape and offer so many possibilities. So in my opinion, this is a fantastic news article and future outlook of how adoption, cryptocurrency adoption, is going to be improved. So the last article for the moment, and that is crypto milestones. Sometimes I like to also to bring some articles about milestones, and one is about stores, mainstream stores, around 30k mainstream stores accept BTC, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum. And that's very, very interesting. Here's a list of retailers accepting Flexa, and the app Flexa, the app from fintech startup Flexa, that is called Spedden, enables merchants to accept crypto seamlessly with no additional steps. Once the POS, point of sale device, scans and recognizes the Flexa payment option, merchants can receive either crypto or US dollars for the purchase. And here there's a few: Barnes & Noble, Baskin Robbins, Express, GameStop, Jamba Juice, and so on. This is also another step forward into the direction of adoption, which I'm very positive about. And I love this idea. I'm very passionate about blockchain. if you really like this news and want more, then join me on my journey and subscribe and like this video for more content like this. So that was it for today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.